Many of us admire Bruce Lee's Kung Fu. From the record we have, he seemed to be invincible. He never lost a single fight. His action was so fast that even cameras could not capture it. And he was requested by the shooting crew to slow down his action. However, for Bruce, a genuine Kung Fu master does not only have a strong physical body or fighting skills, they should also have the insight into the world and the self. Above all, they should understand the highest principle that all knowledge is self-knowledge. Yes, all knowledge, including any factual knowledge about the world, should be self-knowledge in the final analysis. This is Bruce's deepest insight into the essence of Kung Fu and the meaning of our existence. Now, you may ask, if we have knowledge of the world, such as what is a tree or what is a cat, why does Bruce consider this as self-knowledge? Don't we have the distinction between the knowledge of the world and the knowledge of the self? Aren't the world and the self distinct and different? For Bruce, any factual knowledge of the world is typically limited by our personal perspective. That is, we always interpret the world only from our own perspective, and unconsciously we negate other perspectives. Bruce's awareness of this limitation explains why he was so keen on self-knowledge. If you grasp the genuine nature of your own self, you know how to overcome the limitation. For Bruce, the only way to liberate yourself from the limitation is to transcend the distinction between the world and the self. When the distinction is overcome, the limitation of the self disappears. You would then know that you are part of the world and the world is part of you. Or even better, you and the world are one and the same. We'll see below that Bruce applies this philosophy to his own martial art. All these philosophical ideas originate from Bruce's insight that all knowledge is self-knowledge. To know how to appreciate Bruce's Kung Fu, it is therefore not enough for us to clap hands and praise his action, we have to grasp his philosophy. Bruce's philosophy is influenced by Chinese philosophy. His famous slogan,
"Be water, my friend,"
has its origin in Taoism. In the classical work of Taoism Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, one of the main themes is to understand and master the special nature of water. Water is the softest substance in the universe, but it cannot be destroyed by any weapon. Bruce observes that water is not fixed in shape. Instead, it can assume all shapes in existence. Its fluidity makes it limitless. On the other hand, it can break through any resistance. In its weakness, water is also strong. Bruce was very interested in the Taoist dialectics on the contrast and connection between the weak and the strong, the shaped and the shapeless, and finally the finite and the infinite. Likewise, the type of freedom Bruce repeatedly emphasized from the union between the self and the world was also Taoist in spirit. Bruce's favorite analogy of an empty cup was derived from the Buddhist thought of emptiness. In Buddhism, emptiness is understood not in any negative sense. Instead, it has a positive dimension. The positive value is compared to the function of an empty cup. Bruce observes that, if the cup is full, it cannot contain any new substance. This resembles the stubbornness of most people's mentality. On the other hand, when the cup is empty, it can contain any new content. The possibilities of what the empty cup could contain are infinite. This is one of Bruce's reasons why in his new martial art, he abandoned the rigid rules and patterns of the traditional Chinese Kung Fu. Bruce argues that the highest level of Chinese Kung Fu is formless, shapeless and yet in harmony with the circumstances and even with the opponent. In this special sense, it is also the simplest.